This plant with one leaf right here is called Rhaphidophora decursiva. And this is one that I actually picked up from Thailand, and it was just a leaf. This is actually a new leaf of the other leaf that actually died off. So it's growing, I say, particularly slowly. And I have this growing under one of my grow lights, and I'm not giving it a totem, which if I give this a totem, this is the plant that's going to get really highly dissected leaves. And it's a plant that wants to climb and vine. And if you actually see this growing in its native habitat, it could get really highly dissected leaves, but it actually needs something in order to be able to climb up on. So you could start to see that there's little pinholes starting right here, and also this little fenestration within the leaf, which just essentially means a window of the leaf right here. Now this is actually native all throughout Southeast Asia and Asia, so the Indian continent, and then you'd see it in Vietnam, throughout China, I believe, the Himalayas. So it has a pretty widespread distribution within Asia. Now this one, as I had mentioned, I'm growing it under a grow light, although, and if I give it a little bit stronger light and a bit more of a totem, then I would see this plant actually grow up much more quickly. But considering that I'm short on totem space and I'm also short on light space, this is what the plant is actually getting. I wouldn't be surprised though if it actually puts out a new leaf during the growing season, and it may or may not have a fenestration or a window. So sometimes plants will revert back to their juvenile stage in order to be able to capture more light, and this fenestration is usually when the plant is getting more light and it's in a much more mature state. Now you will see a little bit of an aerial root. Maybe if I could pull this back, you'll see a little bit of an aerial root that's reaching down right there. So that will probably get into the soil substrate and anchor it a little bit more, but that is also the aerial root that would grow around a totem in order to be able to pull that plant up in order to be able to get the better light. Now I have this in a pretty normal potting medium, although this is one that I've been testing out that has a little bit more of a barky mix, which with a little bit of peat and then also a little bit more kind of charcoal and bonsai mixture. So I'm testing this out. It seems to be fine. I wanted to say that I have had this plant for about 2 years now, so I haven't had it for an excessive time. And it seems to be a relatively slow grower compared to, like, say, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, which in my house grows like mad. And even when you take a cutting off of it, something similar to this, it just grows exceptionally well with or without a totem. As far as fertilizing, I mean, I'm just really standard with fertilization for this one. It doesn't seem to be like a really fast grower, so I'm doing more of a monthly basis and a just really well-balanced fertilizer. You could do a 20-20-20 or a 10-10-10, or if you want to go the organic route, more like a 1-1-1 or a 2-2-2. And it likes humidity but doesn't need humidity, so doing a little bit more like moderate humidity, kind of middle of the road, is going to be great. It's fine with having a little bit of a moister soil, but as long as there's aeration within the soil, this is not going to get asphyxiated. And if you wanted to propagate this, you could do this through stem and tip cuttings, and you could propagate it within water or as well as a substrate. Otherwise, haven't had any pest pressures with this plant. It just seems to be a slow grower in my neck of the woods.